everyone, happy Sunday. Hope you're staying warm. We have a good one tonight. Sorry, I'm a couple minutes late. Nighttime routine around here. Mister goes to bed. The little has to be calmed down so that I can stream in peace. He can try to sleep in peace. It's a challenge. And um, I just got a text message from a former coworker of mine with a brand new lawsuit um, from a couple weeks ago, but that's going to be something for the other channel. And and for the other channel, there is a crime that happened, allegedly happened, um, that may make national news. That is right down the road from my house. And if this trial is streamed because the sheriff here wants to keep it local, I will be in the courtroom every single day, because that courthouse is only like 2 miles from my house. So um, I will be streaming, um, and live streaming from the courthouse if I can. I will also be filing paperwork with yeah, any media I can here, um, to get access to everything that I can, because it is a national issue as far as people who aren't supposed to be in this country legally committing horrible acts. And this person seems to commit a horrible act, um, allegedly against an 11-year-old girl, and with her little sister watching right down the road from my house. Yeah, well, we'll see how that goes. So, yeah, and you can see I have bit the hell out of my lip today. Oh, yeah. Tammy, I will send you the article. Um, I will send you the article right down from my house. As always, the YouTube is asshat disclaimer, and to my YouTube overlords. This is opinion and educational based. I am an occupational therapy assistant, corrective exercise specialist, and certified lymphedema therapist, but none of those are your specific providers. I have no access to your specific background or your conditions or your specific situation. So take everything I say as a generalization, not specific to you. If something I say applies to you or you think it's a good idea, always clear it with your healthcare providers, your team, because once again, this is educational purposes only. Think of me as a friend who just might have a little bit of knowledge, um, but not your specific providers. Hey Ronnie, how are you? Hope everyone is staying warm. It was just raining like hell earlier. My head has been pounding, so all of you with chronic pain, welcome to your life in a uh, your life in a nutshell is going to be very hard this week with all of the changing pressures. My inner ear right now is like driving me absolutely up a wall. But for some reason, that is much better than this morning, where all of this was feeling like somebody was hitting me with an ice pick from the inside out. Anyway, let me bring up my information that I have here for us. We are on part 3 of our Burnout Recovery series. This week, we are talking about your environment. Your environment. Yeah, Devil Fan, you're a little different. Devil Fan, can I have permission to not out your medical history, but out the process that you are helping me with? Um, like I said, we Devil Fan and I are teaming up. So, all right, this is about your environment. Absolutely, Devil Fan is. He went to my link tree and did a free corrective exercise intro. So we are working together once a week to try to get him back to being a little less scared of movement and a little bit more feeling like himself versus feeling like what his body has betrayed him. Because those of us with chronic pain and chronic health issues tend to feel like the world and our bodies specifically just hate us. Um, so my whole reason for having this YouTube channel is to let people know, using my background, that one, I have chronic pain, I have chronic health issues. You are not alone. And two, if you feel like your body is kicking your own ass, you are not alone. That is how chronic pain feels to most people. You are not only not alone, you are not crazy. When you feel like your body is fighting against you and nobody else around you seems to understand what the hell you're going through, we, this community, understands what you are going through. We are not alone. Everybody's got a complicated history, but this channel is also not just for the people who have chronic health issues. This is for everybody who knows somebody with a chronic health issue to feel a little more like themselves or to get a better understanding of what those people are going through. But it's also a preventative thing. Everybody has a parent, a grandparent, a son, a daughter. Somebody has something going on. And this is for everybody for that general education. If you do want specific, more tailored advice to you, you can go to my link tree. I have two separate links. One is a ask Heather. It's just a one-on-one, like you have a question for me that you don't feel comfortable asking in chat, and you just want my you want to be able to ask with a little bit more time or show me something. It is done through Google Meet. And the other one is a free corrective exercise or intro session where I will work with you on what your goals are, what you think that you need my help with, and come up with a plan for what we can do for you. They both are free. Um, the corrective exercise will be a small charge after that because that is what my career is now. So it's it's a thing. I am working on getting my LLC and all of that. Everyone she's extremely helpful. I truly suggest you book her advice. All the issues I have, I'm just hoping to get a little back. Yep. It's, you know, yes. Yes, I do not diagnose. I am also, at the end of the day, my medical career is only an occupational therapy assistant. I did treatments in occupational therapy. I am not a doctor. I am not a nurse practitioner. I am not a PA. Do not diagnose. I don't diagnose. I just take what your diagnosis is and we work with you on how to adapt. Uh, Occupational therapy kind of as a two-part is what I always described it to my patients in a clinical sense. Two parts. One, helping you get your function back after an illness or injury, or two, helping you if you know that you're not going to be able to get all of the function back. For example, you had a stroke and you know that your arm is not going to move no matter how much therapy you give it, being able to adapt your activities of daily living, feeding, bathing, dressing, um, even going as far as driving to make you functional and as independent as possible with what you currently have. It's a two-part answer. Yes. Yes. Devil Fan and I are I do have my availability. I Mondays are when I'm going to do most of my discussions or scheduling when I work with people long term. Wednesday, I think Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday is when I have time set up for discussions or timing. But like Monday is when if you want more than one time and you want to work together once or twice a week, Mondays is generally going to be the day. However, getting into this topic, we're going to do burnout today. Your environment. Our first part was the ooh, it's been quite a week, It's been quite a week. We've done two parts. We've done your recovery and rest. Ooh, and then the balloons. I forget that that happened. And then secondly, we did movement. Yeah. First was mental. Yes. It was the recovery and relaxation phase. Second was movement, and now it's your environment. Because you can do all that you want in the world, and you can get the best sleep, or you can try to do meditation and stress management. You can do all the movement that you want to do. But if your environment is not primed for recovery, you can possibly be setting yourself up to fail. And here's what I mean by that. So tonight we're going to go through 4 or 5, depending on time, things or reasons with the backing of the science. We're not going to get into the science because I don't read you studies here. I just make those studies make sense. Um, However, we are also going to get into what you can do. And we're all going to wrap this up in about a half an hour. All right. So, one thing that we can work on, let's see, I have my notes because I always write this stuff down because it's a little different when you're talking to someone and then when you're on camera and you're trying to go over it. So, like, I always write stuff down because that's just who I am. So, I make myself like a Word document and I start typing. So, your environment can set you up to fail because no matter what, your brain is always working. You're always processing information. Even when you think that you're resting, you're always taking in light, sound, clutter. Like right now, my brain is working overtime because my desk looks like an absolute hot mess. Like an absolute hot mess. Um, Environment is it like my home or people around me? Both. Both. Yes, and if you mind hitting that like button if you haven't, and sharing the stream out. We're up to 258 subscribers. Because YouTube is an asshole, I want to grow, but I don't want to grow incredibly fast because apparently if you grow too fast, YouTube will yeet your channel thinking that you were a bot. So I do kind of enjoy the slow and steady growth. Now that we are back, Papa Squid is back home, up in the frozen tundra of the north, and hating hating his life. He texted me this morning and said, "It's cold. I can't wait to get the F out of here." So it's one of those situations where things are starting to calm down. I am still quite burned out. Still quite burned out. It's taking over a month, way longer than I thought it was going to be, to get this stuff back on track. Um, I do have things that I need to record. I have what I want to record. I just haven't recorded because my brain is overwhelmed. Um, yes, people around you definitely affect your environment. For example, the easiest example of that would be if you want to lose weight, you don't surround yourself with people who go out to McDonald's every day. You surround yourself with people who eat healthy and go to the gym because you start to act like who you surround yourself with. For another example, a recovering alcoholic may not want to hang out with people who go to the bar every night. You know, I got a great shout out on J Hip. Which channel? This one or this one or the other one? And hey, catch up. How are you? And over here, you can call me by my name. Over here, I'm Heather. Uh, what if it's family? Well, you and I will talk about that tomorrow. Um, However, is You kind of can't pick your family, but you can choose how you let them affect you. Of course, if it's kids, you kind of don't have a choice because you're in charge of them. You know, but you can also, it's not always about how you, um, what's going on around you, it's how you let yourself react to it. Um, so, according to the American Psychological Association, and this one took me a lot because there's a lot on that website that's like weird, like really weird. Um, the brain continuously processes sensory input in contributing to mental fatigue and overstimulation, which overstimulation is a lot, especially when like think about how much we're on the internet and going back and forth between different YouTube channels and everybody. I'm not saying I'm saying stick around here. Bear with me. But so many things, so much drama going on in certain cases that it's like we get overstimulated. I know it happens with me, and that's why certain times I like on my other channel, I choose to focus on certain topics of a larger case because my brain will get overstimulated and stressed out with things that have nothing to do with me. Like say, Devil Fan mentioned Just Jay. Just Jay talks about certain things that I can't talk about because I will get overstimulated and like stressed out about shit that has absolutely nothing to do with me. Ergo, I choose a different path to keep myself in a more calm state. Um, Visual clutter, noise, even clutter like your desk. I haven't wanted to work all day today because my desk has been cluttered. And with my desk being cluttered, my brain does not want to function. My brain has been fighting this all day. I was talking to a couple people today, and I had my iPad out on the couch, and I had to set up the stream for my iPad because like I have notebooks upon notebooks, pens, Apple Pencil, my iPad, everything out on the desk today, and my brain was just like, no. But instead of cleaning it, my brain avoided it. So what I'm doing right now is putting stuff away. It seems like a simple process, but it's like it's just a lot. Yes, my workouts are a good way to get away from my family, and that is why you are called buffed old man. However, for me, that's hard because being a stay-at-home mom, I my gym, I take my daughter to the gym. So, my daughter being 3, our listening skills are not exactly up to par most days. So, I have to stay in a very specific area of the gym when I am lifting, when I have a barbell and a wall ball or part of the rig, so that I can keep her from running from the safe area behind the bikes. We have a row of bikes, and there's like the area where the storage room is, and like the bathroom and the little locker room type area or cubby area. Staying back there to running in where the rigs are and where everybody has barbells. And I go to a CrossFit gym. So making sure that she doesn't run where barbells are. My workouts end up sometimes stressing me out more than helping with my stress level because of the fact that I want to make sure that she stays away from and most days she's good. Most days she's good. But there is that time when it's like, "Oh, I can run." And she runs everywhere. So for me, it's my workouts sometimes become more of a stress causer than a stress except for on days like this when I don't wanna go to the gym, um, or it's too cold to go outside and work out. I go out in my garage, but I keep my garage door shut. So I keep my garage door shut, I have a little space heater, and I keep the door to the house open so she can run from the garage to the house, and I don't have to worry about her getting in anybody's way, and it's great. However, uh, the ball pit and kid zone were my friend back in the day. Yeah, the owner of the gym is awesome with her, they're like besties, they take selfies together. However, um, she's also got a coach. She's the owner of the gym, but she's also, the head coach. So she's got a coach most days, so it's like, yeah, kind of a situation. Alright, so this clutter right here, like this, you can tell the little was on my desk because there is a melted, reusable ice cube. These are her favorite things to carry around. I don't know why, but there's one on my desk. So, clutter and visual noise can increase your stress level. Uh, Studies show that clutter environments are associated with higher stress and cortisol levels. Cortisol is that stress hormone. And this article I got from Princeton Neuroscience Institute. Um, Putting what this article says in plain language, your eyes don't get to ignore the clutter. Your brain has to sort it out, whether you think it's no big deal or not. Your brain is always working. Um, Part of the reason that a lot of people have insomnia, mainly me, is when you go to bed, your brain is not shutting off. My brain does not shut off. I'm like, what do I have to do tomorrow? Am I going to wake up in pain tomorrow? All of this stuff that subconsciously your brain is still processing, even though your body's like, it's time for bed. So, could someone have a cortisol imbalance? Honestly, I don't know what if you'd call it a cortisol imbalance because cortisol is a necessary hormone in the body and everybody has it. However, some people have more of it. I don't know if you'd call it a cortisol imbalance. And this is part of my stress response when I'm having a day. I bite my lip. So you can tell I have I do this all the time. And I'm just now, because I have no makeup on, no nothing. This is filterless. This is what you get. See, I got my WTF line. This is what you get. Um, so the next one, and this is one that I see every day. I experience every day, but I see every day, mostly on the weekends when Mr. Squid is trying to figure out what to watch on TV. Decision fatigue. Decision fatigue. This is where 2026 and Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, YouTube TV, YouTube Premium, just YouTube in general. It's a real thing. The more choices that you give yourself, sometimes it's like scrolling through Amazon Prime and nothing I can't find anything to watch, even though there is literally thousands and thousands and thousands of videos and movies and TV shows. Almost every possible TV show that you can think of, from MASH to Golden Girls to shit that hasn't been released like that has just been released this week. Landman season finale was last week. It's You have so many choices that your brain does not know how to process them all. It's when you every decision that you make costs you energy, especially when you're burned out. And this is burnout recovery. So this is not just under normal circumstances. Think about already being fatigued and burned out, especially after the holidays. And now you have this decision fatigue. This doesn't just relate to like what to watch on TV, but how many clothes do you how many clothes or sets outfits do you have? How many pairs of jeans do you have? How many pairs of shoes do you have? It doesn't seem like a lot, like a big thing. But when you have so much choices or so many choices and you're like, I don't know what to do. like so much workout equipment. I don't know what I want to do today. I literally had Chat GPT. I inputted so this is how I use AI right here. And I think this is how AI should be used. I literally put the workouts for the competition I'm doing in April and said, I'm having a motivation issue. I don't know where to start. I'm burned out. Um, these are the workouts for April 18th. I want to win the Masters division, which is 40 and over. So now I qualify as a Masters athlete. Um, that happens when you get old. I want to win. Help me come up with a 3-day a week workout plan so I can master these workouts. And that's how I used AI as kind of my personal assistant to help me sort out and not be burned out when it came to I know how to plan workouts. I do it all the time for people. However, when it came to my own decisions on where do I start? How do I do this? I was I had so many choices of what to do that I didn't want to do it. I didn't know where to start. So decision fatigue is real. So I used AI. And you could possibly use AI to help you. I don't know where to start. Give me a list of ideas. And you can have ChatGPT or any AI that you use narrow down your choices, not make decisions for you, because at the end of the day, AI should never do the work for you. AI can act as your personal assistant and limit your choices and be like, I need a list of 5. I don't, or you input your list and you can upload a file and say, this is a list of everything I need to do. I don't know where to start. Can you pick 5 or 10 things that I can start off with and tailor to my goals? Helps release that decision fatigue just a little bit. You know, sounds like sensory overload leading to burnout. It kind of is. You got 2 what the fuck lines. I got well, technically there's 3, but this is the biggest one because that's the one that sticks around, especially when you got an HD camera. Uh, all right. This is another one. APA has an article on decision fatigue. So examples, things that you can do to reduce your decision fatigue. Um, even things like what to wear, what to eat, planning your outfits. I pick my outfits generally the night before, especially if I'm going to get up early and go to the gym. Um, I plan the night before so I don't have to think in the morning. It's just an automatic, there's your clothes, there's your shoes. I even set out my toothbrush and my toothpaste because I'm like, I don't even want to have to think about where they are in the morning, even though they're in the drawer. That's one extra decision that my brain does not want to process. Be it I'm a little cognitively impaired, so you can take that one as you will, but I set out things on the like even if I have an early appointment and I need to put on makeup, I will set out exactly because I'm like most women, I have way more makeup than I need. So I set out exactly what I'm going to put on because I don't need everything all at the same time so that I don't have to think about it in the morning. It's like, "Oh, I'm just going here. I don't need anything fancy. I'm not going glam. We're not going out to a party. I just need to look like I'm not asleep." And I'll set out everything the night before so that way I just have to paint it on and call it a day. Like, ah, I totally get it. When I separated and the kids and I moved, it took me a few days before I could bring myself to unpack because looking at the boxes was overwhelming. Oh, I can totally understand that. Totally understand that. Like the thought of moving, like even helping my dad move, it's going to be a good thing for him to move. However, the thought of like the process of moving is stressing everybody out. Just in the sense of we know it's going to be a positive thing. It is just in the process, it's just hard. Speaking of moving, So you guys have followed me on my other channel. I did not get to mention it before I did not get to mention it before we left on the What the Hail stream the other day. However, I did post a community page link. I've shared it to my Twitter and everything. This is, and you know me, guys. I'm really not a huge fan of like sharing GoFundMe's and stuff like this. However, speaking of moving, this GoFundMe is very important to me. A good friend of the channel, and actually a very good friend of mine, off YouTube, Captain Kern. Um, he lost his daughter in a very tragic way, to a domestic violence situation. With that being said, his daughter's best friend was also in a domestic violence relationship, and she has managed to escape and move into a shelter. However, with that being said, she is now in a shelter with very limited resources because she literally left home with only things that she could pack into a suitcase, a couple of suitcases for her and her children. She has a 3-year-old, um, who is my daughter's age, a couple months older than my daughter, and a 2-year-old who just turned 2 this month. I believe just turned 2 this month. Um, she has a whole lot of nothing right now, but I did, and this is not only, Captain Kern telling me about this and sharing this with me and on his channel. I have actually spoken to her. Her and I were talking last night. Um, Colorado. I will be, because I can't help financially. I did donate to this. Um, because I did donate to this, but I can't do a whole lot else. I am sending her like clothes and stuff like that. Um, however, However, this is very near and dear, and I know that some people are very hesitant about um, GoFundMe's given everything that's happened with fundraisers and things with certain other people. However, this is one that she has not many people get to say that they've escaped a domestic violence situation and starting a new life. I did talk to her last night, and I will be sending her things for the little, to help, and a little mama self care package. So hopefully we can help her out. If you would like to donate, that would be very much appreciated. If not, I completely understand it, but I feel obligated to share it because you never know how lucky you are and to be in a safe and loving home until you talk to someone who's not. Um, and when you talk to someone who's not, it puts everything that you have into serious perspective. So, um, yeah. With that, this is legit, not a scam. Yes. So, yeah. If you can give, and she did name her youngest daughter after Captain Kern. Her youngest daughter, her only daughter. Her oldest is a boy. Um, she did name her daughter after Tessa, um, Captain Kern's daughter. So, if you yes, the current running total is 1442 or 1462 with snowflower, snowflower. If you ever see snowflower in a stream, um, she is an amazing human being. I can't express how amazing of a human being she is. Um, she made a very sizable donation. Oh yes, she is a very grateful and loving human being who just likes to yeah. Have her call 211 and search online resources. There should be some public private places that will help her in addition to what you raised. Catch up. Thank you so much. 211. There we go. Thanks for that. And it's like I just want her to know that people that she doesn't even know will support her and be behind her. It's yeah. Um, that's a Captain Kern thing. I just feel you never quite know how things are gonna hit you, especially as a parent. Um, I did talk to Captain Kern when Captain Kern and I did a few streams about, Tessa's story, and we read through all the documents. Um, however, um however, so I feel a little closer to it also because I consider Captain Kern a good friend. Um, so there is that. It's not just someone that, oh, that streams on YouTube. It's someone that I talk to on a regular basis. And he let me into a very, very sensitive area in his life with giving me access to those documents and letting me read them on stream. Um, and some of those documents he had not even seen when we read them. So it is a very sensitive topic, and I know it's sensitive for some people. However, I just wanted to share that out. There are special programs for victims of DV to get them to subsidize housing faster than a regular person that signs up. I will, and I know that she is in a shelter right now, and she is as safe as she can be. She's working on getting a vehicle. Um, has there been any updates on that case? I have to talk to the person who got me the documents. Um, as I know of, he's still behind bars, not for as long as he should be, but he's still behind bars. So he should join you as the adversary. He did. There's a 3-part series on it on my channel, on my other channel. He was with me for all 3 of those streams. We read them together. He didn't just give them to me and, in fact, somebody else got them for me. I helped, well, we started a search for all the documents. And when he got them, I asked if we could read them together. So he, we read through them together. Anyway, getting back to it, I just wanted to share that, and I'm going to be sharing it every chance I get, because it is very important to me, and it's hitting me a lot harder than I thought it was, um, especially after I talked to her yesterday. So when I talked to her and I talked to her about her kids and the fact that her son and my daughter are 2 months apart, um, it kinda hit me just a little bit harder, and it's like, I can't do much more financially, but I can, you know, give toys, and this is also a teaching moment for my daughter that you are in a very lucky and privileged situation, and not everybody is as lucky as you. So, oh, that would be awesome. That would be awesome. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Overthinking, overthinking. So, Devil fan, this one's for you specifically, and specifically this. Environment directly affects your nervous system. Write this down, Devil fan. Write this down. I'll be quizzing you on it tomorrow morning. Um, oh, that would be great. Um, that would be awesome. And I told her I was like, I don't want to overwhelm her, but I would also like I just told her to write a list of stuff she needs, and whatever I can get my hands on, I can send. Um, because I would rather have her write me a list of like 100 things and only be able to help with 5 than her write me a list of like 2 or 3 things and find out there was stuff she needed that I had and didn't need. Like, I'm that person that'll forget to, like, cancel a subscribe and save order, so, like, something as simple as, like, toothpaste. I have, like, 6 tubes of toothpaste right now. Not really sure I need all 6 tubes of toothpaste. Um, I have, like, shit that you wouldn't think that you need until you don't have access to it anymore. But I'm that person that forgets to, like, cancel stuff. Or, "Hey, look at your subscribe and save order before everything ships," and then everything ships, and it's like you have shit that you don't need. So, we're, that's me. I'm that person. So, like, I don't have the financial means to just write a check or donate, but I can go through all the stuff that, I don't need anymore, like all the baby toys, stuff like that. Um, so I will, my Discord server. Yeah, I'm on Discord. Can one of my link or can one of the mods share my email? But Devil fan, this one right here is for you. Uh, the NIH did a study on sensory processing and stress, and basically found that loud, bright, and chaotic space keeps your body on alert, even if nothing else is wrong. So everything in your world could be perfect in an ideal utopian situation, but loud TV, one of the, here's a way to break this one down in layman's terms that everybody's experienced. You're on the phone and the TV is loud and your kid's yelling at you. Nothing's really wrong. Your kid playing loudly and yelling is normal. Doesn't really stress you out. It's normal. The TV on loud. Not really the TV on, not really bugging you. You're on the phone. But when all three are happening at the same time, your brain goes, I need to get the hell out of here. Where do I go? And it's got nowhere to run. So it gets stressed. And then you go into fight or flight. And then you're just in this like high. So some things that I personally have to do, turn off the TV. Like I can't even mute it. It has to be off when I'm on the phone. Either that or I have to step outside. I have to be in a quiet environment in order to pay attention to what is going on, in order for my brain not to go into this panic mode. Um, your environment reduces the need for willpower. Here's another important one. When your energy is low, your willpower, quote unquote, is unreliable. Um, so the CDC had an article and a fact sheet, Healthy Places fact sheet, built environment and health. If something is easy, you'll do it. If it's hard, you won't. And that's not a character flaw. That's science. It's one of those things of, say you want to go to the gym. Say you work a 9 to 5. Class is at 5:30. If you go home to have to change into gym clothes, how often are you going to leave the house again? Probably not. But if you make it easy and already have your gym clothes with you, and you either change before you leave work or you change at the gym, your decision is easy. You already have the stuff. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to go home. You don't have to look at your couch, look at your TV, look at your computer and be like, oh, there's 100 other things I need to do right now. The decision is easy. It's already been made for you. Putting your shoes by the door. When you know you want to go for an early morning run, put your shoes by the door. Things that are hard. I have to sleep with the TV on. I grew up in a loud environment. And that's not awful. I have to sleep in quiet. Mr. Squid goes to sleep with the TV on. I'll, oh boy. All right. And let's get practical. We've kind of talked about some tips, but I have examples and things that we can go through on each of the things that we talked about. But they're all simple. Because remember, the simpler something is, the more you'll be willing to do it. You want ice? Go get ice. Okay. I also can't sleep without the TV, but I think it's my ADD. And I'm the type where I can't sleep with the TV. I need complete silence. So whenever I go to sleep, I have to turn off the TV when Mr. Squid is watching it. It's one of those things of it's my ADHD where I will focus on the TV and not sleep. All right. We're going to do this rapid fire as quickly as possible. We're not reorganizing your life. We're just reframing certain things. And the goal, once again, just like perfect movement, it's not perfect. We're not trying to go for perfection. It's not about the end result, it's about the process. The goal is not a perfect environment, it's an environment that asks less of you and is less of an energy suck. All right. What I need to ask y'all something. What in your environment seems to drain you the most? If, and we're going to reflect on those, but whatever you say, remove one thing that costs you energy. Whether that's like this weekend, my big thing was unsubscribing from emails, going through my email list and unsubscribing from emails like Rumble updates from a channel that I haven't watched in like 6 months. Instead of going through and deleting every time, I actually unsubscribed from those updates. Now I won't get them. Um, the hundreds of uh, product emails that you get because you signed up for Black Friday discounts. And now you get all these promotional emails that just take up and clutter your inbox, which makes you want to check your email less because it's all junk mail. YouTube, well, well, unfortunately, if I were you, I would have said Discord, but that's just a completely separate issue right there. Dealing with staff at work. Hey, Chris, how are you? And unfortunately, you can't get rid of the staff at work. However, you might be able to reframe how you think of these people. Um, I had a discussion with my mother the other day because her boss drains her energy. Her boss wants her to quit and is doing everything in her power to get her to quit. Um, and she's trying to make my mother miserable. This is where this is where taking a page out of the petty playbook might help your energy levels because when you look at people or like don't look at people like they're draining your energy. Think of it as you get to drain their energy because you get to be extra. And I'm a little extra. Anybody who knows me, I'm just a little over the top and extra. Oh my god, my interest just went out. What? I can't with that. Too funny and oh so true. I mean, you can't get rid of the you know, you can't get rid of your coworkers unless you want to find a new job. However, um, you can reframe how like I told my mother, I was like, instead of looking at your boss like she makes you miserable, look at this like you show up every day with a smile and you're showing up happy makes her miserable. Okay, right here. So reframe how you think about things and it you can't change there's certain situations that we just can't change, but we can change how we process them. It changed internet to interest. uh, so another example. Yeah. You want water? No. Okay. Oops. Oops. Um, one other thing that you can do is silence a notification or go into one of your apps that annoys you, like Discord, for example. And and this right here, I'm barely on Discord. I don't know what you're talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about, and you are a big liar. Liar, liar, pants on fire. Um, Also, um, so subtraction can sometimes be seen as recovery. We don't need to add things to our life to help recover and change our environment. Sometimes we need to take things away. Um, so you don't need a perfect environment. Sometimes you just need simple changes that helps the brain think that things are easier. Come here. Okay. So one thing, create a drop zone. Um, if you find that you're leaving clutter in a certain area, okay, come here. Can you put that in the freezer? I can't. Here. You want water? Yeah. If you see that you are leaving stuff in a certain place, like your keys every time, well, put a key rack there. Or I can't do that, baby. It doesn't work like that. Okay, hold on. Speaking of clearing clutter, yeah. No, I can't pour it. Hold on. Come here. Let me have it, please. Sorry, mama duties. Yes. Is it yummy? Yeah, Discord notifications will drive a person to drink. Yes. If you find that you use your phone all the time when you're sitting on the couch, put a charger next to the couch. You want to get more hydrated, leave a water bottle on your desk. Leave a water bottle on your couch, not your couch, your end table. Leave things where they're easy to get to, or in the morning, fill 2 water bottles up. Make your decisions easy. Fill 2 water bottles up while you have the energy. That way, you don't have to go and, I have to go refill my water bottle. I have to stand at the sink or stand at the refrigerator. It's already done for you. Angel, I can't do that right now. I'll do it in a minute. Come here, beautiful. If you want to do yoga, set your yoga mat out the night before or leave it visible. I do these things, and sometimes my spouse will go behind me and pick them up and put them away, and I'm like, I was doing it on purpose. I left it out so that I could use it, not for you to put it away right away. So sometimes your family does kind of fight these things. You have to be specific about why you're leaving stuff out. Like, I'll leave something out and I'll be like, do not touch this. I'm going to use it in the morning. I want it set out so that I don't have to think about the fact that I need to use it or I need to drag it out of the closet. It's already there. So sometimes recovery and changing your environment can be boring. Burnt out brains don't want variety. They want predictability and they want easy and simple. Boring, your body sees boring as protective. And if simple and if say a quiet environment is impossible, say you work with a bunch of people that are loud and obnoxious and you're trying to work on a computer and you need silence, headphones. Headphones. Use lights. I'm getting a little sensory overloaded right now. If you have sensory overload, reduce the amount of light. Kind of take things down a notch. Quiet isn't laziness, it's regulation. So I get a little sensory overloaded with a certain someone. No, because you're gonna spill it all over the place. That little. All right. So at night, when you know that it's time to wind down for bed, put your phone in do not disturb mode. You can still use your phone, but you won't get all those annoying notifications. Just remember that sometimes you need to take your phone out of do not disturb mode, especially when people are trying to contact you the next day when they're out shopping and they're asking you if you need anything else from the store. Yes, the co-host. She's my social media manager, my content creator. She's the face of this operation. So make the right thing the easy thing. And this is kind of summing up a lot of things that we have talked about on this stream already. When energy is low, friction decides what happens. If something's hard, you're not going to do it. So this is connecting back to our last three things streams that we've talked about this. But shrink tasks until they don't trigger avoidance. So sometimes break a task down into its steps instead of doing the whole thing at once. Put the trash can closer to where you're cooking. So say you're cooking, bring the trash can closer to you so you don't have to constantly walk over there. Saves a little bit of energy, but also makes cleanup easier. Seems like a simple task, but it's kind of breaking the task down into parts and making it a little bit easier on you. Hey, Gabby. All right. And then we already talked about removing one thing that costs you energy. All right. I hope that the last three streams have really kind of helped us with recovering from holiday burnout and realizing that you're not the problem. Taking things slow, intentional, and modifying your environment can definitely help you. And being burned out doesn't mean you're lazy, doesn't mean that you have a problem. It just means your body got overloaded. And instead of listening to our bodies and taking that time and stepping back and figuring out what we need to heal, we just kept going. It could be because we were being a mom or all the holidays and you had to do everything and be everywhere and be everything to everyone all the time. Might seem like a good thing, but remember, if you don't take care of yourself, it's really hard to take care of everybody else. On that note, I will see you guys tomorrow. We will be on the other channel talking more lips and her crazy lawsuit against the Florida bar. Oy. Anyway, yes, here's the link for Captain Kern's bonus daughter, Shannon. If you can help, even by sharing it out to your Facebook, your Twitter, your Instagram, whatever, please help. Even if it's just $2, $1, whatever. This is a mom with 2 young children who is escaping a dangerous situation that could have potentially ended up in a way that we've seen how situations turn out. And she is lucky. And when you look at her situation, we want to help, or I personally want to help her not only be safe, but also try to figure out who she is as a person, as a mom, without feeling like she has to walk on eggshells around people. And that's personally where I would love to, like, I don't know her very well. We just started talking, but I'd like to see who she is when she doesn't have to fear who she's around and stepping on eggshell or walking on eggshells around people. I'm excited to see where she goes. So if you can help, please help. It's not very often that you get to be personally involved and help in a survivor story, but you can. Yes, please report DV. Don't be the statistic. Exactly. If you see something, say something. And please share her GoFundMe. I don't share GoFundMes lately because of everything going on. But this one is very, very real and very personal. But I will see you guys later. You have a great rest of your night, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.